Alright, what's up YouTube? You're Goldwinging with Derrick T. And out here today on my way to Raccoon Creek State Park. Don't ask me what I'm looking for when I get there. I was just looking for places online that I could ride to, take a little day trip to. So that's what the plan is. It's a little bit less about the destination, a little bit more about the ride. It's about 35 miles from where I'm at right now. The flow of traffic has been a little tight to get the ride started, but I think it's finally loosened up a little bit. The last episode I talked about starting a motovlog, and like I said, that in that episode the emphasis was probably less on how to do it and more just on what my motivation was behind it, and also kind of the things that I did to get started. So it's less of a how-to video and more or less just a story about how I got started motovlogging. And so, you know, if that's useful information to you, I hope that's useful to somebody, and that somebody who's watching it finds some kind of value to it. But nonetheless, I did also a video on my helmet setup and kind of what I use in my motovlog to kind of bring you the footage that I bring you. And I got the GoPro Max 360 over here. I record in 360 mode. And the one thing that I have not done yet, that I'm still kind of learning, is I don't use the GoPro Quick app. And I think that when I do, I think there's probably some creative options in that app that I haven't opened myself all the way up to yet, because I'm not really using the app to download footage from my GoPros. I just kind of grab the SD cards and throw them in my computer. Yeah, I just kind of grab footage and off the SD cards from the put them on the computer, and then from there I'm using an online video editor called WeVideo, and I'm downloading directly to that because it's cloud-based and it doesn't take up any space on my computer. Saving all of the media that I save to bring you the content that I bring you. So that's what I do there. But today, this is the first time using an upgraded setup. It's slightly upgraded, that is. I use the Y connector, and I'll put a link to this in the description, but I'm using a Y connector, and I bought a second microphone. It's just a standard lapel microphone. There's nothing special about it, but there's now two microphones in my helmet. One of them is situated and mounted directly next to one of my speakers, because I got a really good phone call yesterday from a subscriber, and it made my day. But unfortunately, the audio from that phone call did not come in very well. So that set me on a mission today to upgrade the quality of the audio coming from phone calls. Music is just fine. The communications, the Bluetooth communication was okay. In the trip to Perry, it was just okay. Like, I could hear just fine, but coming through on the video wasn't the greatest. I bet it could have been better. And so I believe I've solved the problem by adding the second microphone. The second microphone that I have is closer to the front of the helmet, not directly in front of my mouth, but in the front of the helmet, just in front of the cheek pad, situated nice and snug. There's no wind noise coming through. My vents are closed, and so I have a speaking mic here, and then I have a mic that's designed to pick up audio from the center. I took that phone call, like I said, from a subscriber yesterday, and it was somebody who told me that he had been watching the channel since my very first, I can't even call it a moto vlog. It was just simply a video that I shot with my phone. There were no openings, no background music, no editing of any kind. As a matter of fact, when I think back on that day, I think it took me every bit of about 2 hours, because I kept on. It's about an 8-minute video, but every time I messed up, I would have to stop, delete that one, and start all over again. And I think it probably took me quite a few tries just to get that 8-minute video right. You know, and I did it for my Facebook page, and then just decided, hey, let me, you know, YouTube seems like as good a place as any to drop a video, so I just throw it up there too, since I have a Gmail account. And like I said, in the other video, I didn't really set out to create a moto vlog. My channel kind of turned into one, because the more I did it, the more I liked it. And then the more I started watching other moto vlogs, I said, oh, I can do that. And one thing led to another, led to another, led to another. Nonetheless, I started investing in pieces of equipment, one at a time. I bought a GoPro camera, and then I was given a GoPro. And then I was able to pick up another one. And so the Max here, that was more or less a want. Actually, it was more of a want than a need. I met a friend who had one and highly suggested getting the Max 360, and so I did. And that's been a great addition to my arsenal. The third one, the one that I was given, I use that in a handheld gimbal, so I can get off the bike and walk around and take pictures and everything else. And I have a GoPro that looks out and takes forward-facing pictures, and then I have an old iPhone that I don't use anymore, and that's part of the gimbal too, and I use that to take pictures and video facing me, so you kind of get different perspectives. But yeah, that's what I use. My Google Drive account is also a very good friend of mine. I store a lot of my information in Google Drive, a lot of my camera clips and everything else. I try not to take up a whole lot of space on my phone and on my computer by having a lot of pictures and videos and everything else downloaded to the phone or to the device. I try to use as much cloud-spaced storage as possible, because it makes the devices function a little bit better. But yeah, those are the devices that I employ to put my content together. So whatever system works for you, that's the one that you go with. But I do strongly recommend you edit your videos. Don't have a lot of dead space. You know, nobody wants to see you sitting at a traffic light for, 5 or 6 minutes, or however long you end up stuck in traffic. I was stuck in traffic before I started filming this video, but all of that got cut out. I actually didn't even film that part of it. I had to be careful what I say, because the GoPro has voice recordings, has voice commands on it rather, and there's sometimes when I say things and the GoPro will do things that I don't want it to do. But I didn't even film that part of it, because GoPros have notoriously bad battery lives. So I don't like to burn through a lot of battery with a lot of dead space. If I'm sitting in traffic, I turn the GoPros off and wait until I'm moving again, or right before I'm moving again, and get them turned back on and get them going. Having voice commands really helps out. You know, when you're in motion, you don't have to be fidgeting around with the camera. You can just tell it what to do. Beautiful September day out here. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably a little more than halfway there, but the Pittsburgh International Airport is about 3 or 4 miles from where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna pull over there and gas up. Here's a bike coming up on me on the right. I'm going about 80, so there's no telling how fast he's going. All good. So, yeah, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to reset the GPS. I like to use Waze, but I think I programmed it the other day to avoid highways, and so it's got me on this crazy route out here to the park, and I'm looking for kind of a little bit of more of a straight line than I am zigzagging around. So I'm gonna reprogram my GPS and tell it it's okay to take the highway, because I don't know exactly where I'm going. If I knew exactly where I'm going, I'd let the GPS do whatever it does, because I know which route I like to take. But I don't know exactly where I'm headed, so I'm gonna pull it over and make sure it's giving me a route that is at least familiar. I'm gonna gas up and grab a little something to drink, and I'll be right back with you. All right, YouTube, I'm back. Leaving out from my little pit stop. Got a full tank of gas, a full tank of Gatorade, and on our way, like about 15 miles away from the destination. So this should be a quick little ride over. Talking about motor vlogging. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool to document the process as it's happening. I know a lot of vlogs that are out there are very well established and have tens of thousands of subscribers and all that good stuff. They're pretty well known, and mine is relatively small in comparison. But I don't say that from a competitive standpoint. But I guess I'm saying that for people who are, you're starting out, and if you're just starting out or whatever, just keep with the process. Just keep on doing it. Put out material that's interesting, that has some value. And I never thought that I would have. I'm somewhere near 50 videos on my channel now, but I never thought that, when I put that first video out, as bad as it was, that there would be 48 or 49 more coming. And the opportunities that come with it, and some of the people I've been able to meet now because of it. I guess I got about 6 miles to go worth of farmland. That's the thing about Pittsburgh, is that you don't have to go very far to get out into the country. We're only maybe 20 miles outside of downtown Pittsburgh, not terribly far. It's surrounded by farmland, and the Amish community is really big in these rural areas out here. So yeah, you don't have to go very far at all, and that's the thing about Pennsylvania in general. Pennsylvania as a state, I know a lot of people ask me, well, you're in Pittsburgh, well, how close to Philadelphia is that? It's actually about 300 miles away, so it's not as close as people like to think that it is. Some places that you can get to from Pittsburgh faster than Philadelphia would be Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Morgantown, West Virginia. You can get to a lot of places. You can get to a lot of places in a lot less time than it takes to get to Philadelphia from here. It's about 300 miles east of here, and so when you hop on the turnpike riding east, about 287 miles to the Philadelphia exit off of 76, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's long, it's boring, and it's nothing but farmland. And so literally you have major city being Pittsburgh, 300 miles of farmland, and then major city Philadelphia. And everything in between is like, it all looks the same. If you've driven 10 miles, you've driven 1,000 miles. It all looks the same. The destination is Raccoon Creek State Park, and I'm born and raised in the Pittsburgh area, and I only heard of this place for the first time earlier this summer, and I've actually never been here before. Like I said, this is a exploratory ride for me. So, and these roads back here, I've never been on, so I'm really taking my time riding through here. If you're the kind of person who you like watching motovlogs that feature a lot of speed riding and twisties and people leaning the bike and, you know, almost to the ground and everything else, I'm not your guy for that. I'm gonna take my time riding through here. Let's get it. 3 miles on this road, 3.5 miles to the actual destination. So far so good. This is as close to a feeling of being lost as I can get, because other than the GPS, I don't know where in the world I am, although I could probably figure it out pretty quickly if I turned around and headed back on 18 to State Route 30. I know if I can get home going 30 east. All right. Well, this is wide open. Nice bit of scenery out here, open space. Like I said, it doesn't bother me to take my time. It's a nice area out here. Farmland as far as the eye can see. Yeah, trucks pulling large bales of hay, you know you're in the country. All right, let's want to slow it down a little bit. Looks like got some signs and some options. The GPS has gotten me here. Let's see, we got the park office, cabins, group camps, campgrounds, the beach. Looks like I'm gonna make a left. There it is, people. Raccoon Creek State Park. Waze has done its job. The Goldwing has done its job. It's gotten me here in one piece. Let's see here. This ought to be fun. Whoa. Okay, so if the BMW didn't teach me anything, it was take your time on the bend. Nice clutch work, Derrick. Alright. So nice to know that there's a campground here. I've been wanting to kind of put my foot to the pedal about camping and doing some camping off of the bike, but part of me wants to start off close to home, doing it like, you know, within, I'd say 40 or 50 miles or so, you know, and venture farther and farther away. Okay, what do we got here? We're still going straight ahead. So there's a campground over there. I'd like to see this beach. The Pittsburgh area is not known for its beaches. So I want to see the beach. Why are beaches always so far from the park entrance? If you watched my video, the solo trip to Presque Isle State Park to Erie, PA, it took about 20 minutes to get to the beach from the time that I got into the park. I want to see Park Entrance Beach. Alright. Okay, we'll make a left. The beach area. Let's take a look at the beach. Got boat rentals open, vehicles with boat rental, parking. I have a great pause about riding on gravel. I've not always been successful riding on gravel. I have 3 accidents on a motorcycle, and they were all going less than 10 miles an hour on gravel. So really will take my good old time, and as soon as I see a decent place to park, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep poking the bear here. Ah, well, look at that, people. That's a beautiful scene down there. We'll get down there and kind of see what the beach looks like. Rather impressed. I like it. I didn't come prepared to get in the water. I don't think I'll be doing that. All right, this looks like as good a place as any to pull it over. All right, GoPro, stop recording. All right, YouTube, I'm Derrick T, out here at Raccoon Creek State Park, and I'm guessing this is Raccoon Creek. This is the beach area, and I gotta say it's pretty cool. Not exactly Ocean City or Virginia Beach, but I guess anywhere where you got sand and water, you got a beach. So this was pretty cool. This was a pretty cool find. Again, another Pennsylvania State Park today. I dig it. I'm gonna go do some more exploring. I just got done having a little something to eat and rehydrating a little bit, so going to hop back on the bike and let's see what else I can find out here. Alright, YouTube. I'm going to explore a little bit more of the park before I throw the helmet on and head back for Pittsburgh.